Hello, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Sorry we've been away for so long. Me and Trudy got really sick.
Hang on just a second.
So
There we go. Now, hopefully we're all in frame better.
all of our videos got a little bit delayed, but we have this one and another one coming as soon as possible, just as soon as the editing gets done, probably by the end of the night.
As soon as Jared learns how to edit again. He got sick. Yeah, he got snick and sneezed. Yeah, you got snick and
Some Saturday night Nickelodeon now?
Yeah, you got that big orange couch put in your apartment and hit your head. That's what happened. You forgot what you were doing.
With me, as always, is Sean from Byra Borrow and Trudy from Shayna Will Slash You. We're here talking about Fantastic Beasts and where to find them.
Yeah, this was actually a lot of fun.
This was an amazing movie.
I wouldn't go that far, but I would say that this was actually kind of what I wanted out of Doctor Strange. A little bit. A much more straightforward story that had a lot of actual character depth to it. Well, mostly anyway.
Yeah.
But the consequences actually feel like consequences if they don't accomplish their job and mission for this.
I definitely was surprised. I did not expect this going into a Harry Potter prequel.
Yeah.
It kind of really checked Harry Potter at the door. This was a story that existed by itself. And it didn't rely on the other movies.
Well, that's kind of what I wish it had done more of. We'll get into this later when we do spoiler corner stuff, but I kind of wish they had just kept this as its own special thing and not. Anyway, but yeah, this movie is a lot of fun. I would honestly recommend going to see this any time of day, matinee, evening show. If you can get the 3D, definitely do it. It really helps in a lot of places.
Yeah,
there were a lot of shots I was seeing where it was deliberately made for 3D, though.
Yeah.
You guys caught those too?
Yeah.
That bug actually felt like it was in my face.
Yeah, there were a lot of those where it'd be like, oh, something fell down, or we whoosh the wand in front of you, and it's just like, in fucking 3D!
I think that was the point of it, though.
Yeah.
That's what you want from 3D, though. You don't want a movie where you're watching 3D and you're like, why is this in 3D?
Star Wars Force Awakens.
Yeah, that's a really good example of 3D that was unnecessary. At the same time, though, I want a movie that complements the 3D, not that shoves it in my face and says, we're in 3D! It's like I've got a giant eagle pooping on you right now! And it's like, just... This shit went out back in the 50s, man. Just let it go, alright? Either just give a natural blend of the 3D or don't have 3D at all.
Not everybody can...
Nobody cares that your movie's in 3D now. Every movie is in 3D.
Mostly, yeah.
There's going to be a Medea movie in fucking 3D soon.
Why?
Because Tyler Perry is Tyler Perry, and Medea needs more movies.
Lord, I'm in 3D! I dropped my weed card in the theater. Oh, don't you pick it up now.
That's actually very scary to how close that is.
I've never actually seen a Medea movie either, and I'm very proud of this fact.
But the fact that
never have, never will.
The fact that you did that so well is terrible.
Yeah. That's just from what I've heard of other people, so that means that all of their representations are spot on.
Yep.
So clearly Tyler Perry is writing A-game material.
He's just writing the same, like, why does Medea need any more movies?
Because Tyler Perry needs a paycheck.
We're getting really off topic.
Yeah, we are. There's really not a whole lot to say to this movie before we head into spoilers. It's a lot of fun. It was nice being back in the Harry Potter universe. Go see this movie.
I
All
love
right.
this movie.
I recommend it definitely. Now,
Very proud I'm wearing an Obliviator shirt right
so for anybody who doesn't want spoilers, this is the time to stop the
Yeah.
video because we're jumping in.
One thing before we get into spoilers, I will say with the note of Obliviator, this movie had the combination of some of the best magical terms and some of the worst magical terms.
Yeah.
Because they refer to muggles in this as no-mag.
yeah.
And it's like, could you really have been more on the nose with that name?
It,
But then you have the people who erase people's memories as Obliviator. And it's like, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I want to join that.
jumping into full
But
spoilers.
yeah, spoilers from here on out. So if anybody who doesn't want spoilers, this movie is absolutely worth seeing. Go see it. You'll have fun.
Yes.
It's a little long, but
Yeah.
It's amazing and worth it.
you'll have some fun.
I definitely
Probably.
liked the American take on the magic. Like it wasn't. It
Yeah.
felt different. Like it felt like we were.
That's definitely something you want when you're doing a comparison and contrast, especially against the British magical setup the way they had it. And
So they actually
I thought it
had.
worked well. I like the fact that we didn't have to put up with a bunch of annoying kids for this, and
Oh,
that we
thank
could
God.
just skip straight forward into people being adults about shit.
I like the
Yeah.
fact that they mentioned that there was an American like wizarding.
Yeah.
Cool.
At the same time, though, it's like I kind of wish we had some kind of a setup before now about that. Maybe something in the previous Harry Potter books.
Well, they
or-
didn't really like go into depth about it. They just mentioned that
Right,
it was
they,
there.
they leave it. They let it be a simple thing for a simple thing, and I'm happy with that. We could have gotten way off track in a movie like this, and then just gone
Lost
down
the
that
whole
rabbit
movie.
hole.
I kind of like
Yeah.
the fact that the laws are different too. Like in like the Harry Potter universe, like Muggles, certain ones
into this
know about magic, and
getting
this one
into
no
this,
one can know.
universe's laws. Let's talk about some of the laws of the time. Mostly, and I'm not against this, but as somebody who knows this history a little better than like the average Joe, the 1920s weren't exactly the best place for people who were black and female.
Exactly.
And I'm sure the magical world is very, very progressive. It's very forward-thinking in some respects. Clearly, this was one of them. But yeah, all I could see up there while she was there is just like,
Does she belong?
not in the 20s.
Was this set in the 20s or was it?
It was
more...
set in the 1920s.
You could tell by their outfits.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, I'm really glad that we have a black lady be president of the Magical Society in the United States, but
I got
Why?
more of a
this, no, it's not why, it's just that this would not be happening.
I got more of a 40s vibe off of it.
No, this
No.
is the 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they had just wrapped up the war.
Yeah.
That's something I really, really like, because a lot of people get that wrong and they'll refer to it as World War One. But at the
Back
time,
then,
it
that
was known as the Great War.
Yeah.
And so it's little things like that that help sell this a little harder.
But the fact that, like you said, she was the president.
Yeah, and again, I have
She
nothing
could have
against her.
been
She
there,
was
but it
perfectly
doesn't
fine.
seem like
And yeah, again,
she would be there with
yes.
that time period.
No.
What I want to
not
know
this
is
time
how
period.
the greatest wizard criminal ended up infiltrating their fucking ministry.
Yeah,
that
that
made
easily.
no sense to me. Like,
Oh, you didn't see that? That happened when you got up to go get drinks.
did it really?
Yeah, it was an entire thing. They explained it all, right down to why Ron Perlman was a CGI goblin with backwards fingers.
I think you're making shit up now.
You believed him there for a second, though, and that's what he was going for.
And Thor rode in, and Captain America smacked around Doctor Doom, and it was awesome. And then you came back, and they were all like, "Laters!"
Whatever.
Yeah, right when you left, that's what
Yeah,
happened.
that was exactly when it happened.
This the one negative thing I have to say about this movie, I just do not care for Ezra Miller. I didn't like him.
Who was he in this?
He was the dude that had the thing attached to him, the demon thing attached to him.
Oh, he was the creep.
Yeah.
Yeah, credence. Yes, thank you.
I don't really care for Ezra Miller that much, and the whole idea that the whole time the bad guy is looking for a kid who basically creates an imaginary friend from hell. Like, there are people who have magic that kind of just stow it away and hide it, and channel it into like this thing that ended up being.
It's described as a parasitic magical organism that feeds off of negativity, I think he said.
Well, it feeds off being pushed away.
I don't.
The power's being pushed away.
But they said, like, the worst case they had ever seen, like, no kid lived past 10, and this dude was, like, in his 20s. And
he wasn't in his 20s. He was, like, in his teens.
He was in his late teens, but no, he was not in his 20s.
Well, still, that thing just was. Good God. Well,
yeah, no, I actually, I kept going on. I kept sitting there in the movie like this. I'm just like, okay, let's wrap this up here, movie. We know it's not actually her. We know it's this guy. Let's have everybody else get on the clue bus and go forward.
I just think it was kind of like very obvious it was him the whole time.
And see, that's what I was wondering. How come nobody else, especially this dude who's supposedly been following it for so long, not know it was him? He even said, I smelled it on you.
It's one of those things. It's like, oh God, can we just go forward with this? It felt like a lot of padding and lot of
like a little poking at it.
I think they maybe set up the ending a couple different ways.
Yeah.
That's why I think that's the only purpose the little girl served. I think something else they might have been going forward with was maybe he was just possessed by the thing and it was the girl, but they shot a different ending to it. Like, it seems
it definitely feels like
set up a couple of different things that they didn't use.
It definitely does feel that way. I'm kind of happy with the payoff we got. I thought it worked fine.
I love the bird griffin thing.
Yes, that was very, very cool.
It was amazing.
I like that being set up.
The main character.
When we got to the end, I was just like, they're all like, we can't just obliviate an entire city. I'm like, yeah, sure, Men in Black did it. Why not you?
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, yeah, we can.
So
it was very like
I love how they were accepting of that beast and not every other beast.
Yeah, everything else. The one that helps them, they're all like, oh yeah, sure. Everything else is like, you shouldn't have done this.
I think their escape from the American ministry was definitely, that was a good play on like defining the main character as who he was. Like, he just had a couple of these things that were out of the case, and he used them to escape a high-level facility.
No, that's one thing I will definitely say about this movie. None of this feels like they pulled it out of their ass at the last minute to achieve a situation.
It looks like they put good work into it.
Everything was set up beforehand, and you can understand where everything came from when they do it. And so it's like, okay, well, except for Johnny Depp appearing at the end.
Yeah.
I was just like... Okay, we couldn't just have him be some random dick. He had to be the main bad guy. Okay.
I expected him to...
Who was mentioned once?
I expected him to start throwing killing curses and just, like, get the hell out of there at the end. Like, the fact that they arrested him just... Because
but they
anybody
did it with his help, though.
Anybody who read the books knows, like, this dude that was a bad man.
Right.
Like...
I love
it took
a bad man.
It took Dumbledore to take this guy down, if I remember correctly.
So supposedly in the next movie we're gonna get Dumbledore. Hot Dumbledore on Johnny Depp action.
Oh God.
I think that was his gay lover, actually. In the book series.
But
I hate to say it, but he kind of looks it. Oh my God.
But he mentioned Dumbledore too.
Yeah.
He was like, why is Dumbledore so fond of you? When Newt was like in what I guess was interrogation.
Yeah.
And then I hate to say this, but Eddie Redmayne brought up a really good point when they were interrogating him. They bring out the MacGuffin
MacGuffin.
That's what it is. It's a MacGuffin. They bring out the MacGuffin of the movie, which is the evil parasitic organism that feeds off of the repressed magical energy, and it's
Is there not a shorter name we can call this thing?
It's in the movie. I have no idea what it is. I'm just going to call it the MacGuffin. And
I thought it was a Dementor at first.
Yeah.
It was like they were calling it it was like the Oblivier, but it was something else.
Obscurus.
There it is.
Obscurus. That's what it was. Just remember that for Obscurus. But yeah, they bring out the Obscurus that was attached to this 8-year-old girl that he found out in like the Sudan or something, you said?
Yeah, the one he tried to save.
Yeah, and he tried to save her and he was able to separate it and the child, but the child died. And he's sitting there and is like, so you took it away from her and just absolutely denied it its purpose. It's like, the only purpose this thing has is to kill a kid.
Yeah.
Why would you say that? And I'm like, that's an actual legitimate question here, guys.
Like,
and he totally ignored it. He
just blows it off and is like, no, let's go back. That's a thing.
Yeah, he's like, why?
That's like saying, he's like, my God, you removed all the plutonium from the world's plutonium bombs and denied them their purpose. It's like,
their purpose is
that purpose has a different purpose now.
Yeah.
Can we go back to your previous statement? I think you might be a crazed scientist. Might want to look into this guy's house. Maybe he has a few giant robots that need plutonium to kill the world.
It's like...
There should have been more of a payoff with that. I did like how the case was basically like a wildlife habitat.
Yeah.
Where
I like that.
It had all these things in it. I just think they got out too easy.
Well, we didn't see how they got out.
Yeah, you never see that. So
one get out, a few get out, and then we seen the rest of them being caught.
Yeah.
But we knew they got out. We knew one was talking about it, and he got his mind wiped.
Yeah, that poor guy.
Which
it turns out it didn't matter. And it's just like, did we really have to mind wipe this guy? I mean, he just kind of remembers her anyway, so what's the point? I mean, subconsciously he's building these pastries out of...
He did it on his own.
Out of his memory.
They weren't going to wipe his mind. He did it on his own.
I know, but I'm just saying, they did it for the script purposes, for you to feel bad about this, and it's like, do we really need to feel bad?
Oh, it's not like we saw how it ended. The girl went right back.
I know, that's what I'm saying, though. Is this was
powers.
entirely pointless.
Yeah.
Another pointless. There's actually more I think about it. There's a couple of pointless scenes that were just like.
Well, they might have dragged out the movie if they would have tried to keep him from going out in the rain.
Right.
So then we would have had to probably watch another 10 minutes of it where he's being somehow sheltered from the rain.
All they have to do is walk out under her umbrella wand.
Yeah.
But then people see the umbrella wand.
Oh, you can cast an illusion spell or some bullshit.
And then another 10 minutes of
Or you could pull out a legitimate umbrella and just be like
magic,
we're going.
Or just magic bubble over this dude, just that covers him so the rain bounces off.
Again, I would just be like, oh, here, hang on, let me go get an umbrella, and we can just say, oh yeah, he forgot his stuff.
He forgot his stuff.
It's all gone. Oops.
I feel she was kind of going, you don't have to wipe his mind. We'll go away and pretend we saw it.
Yeah.
That's.
I thought that's what they were going to do, but then they're like, there can be no exceptions. And I'm just like, oh, okay, I guess we're going to be assholes the whole way through.
At the end, you, somehow fill this guy's suitcase with hatched silver.
No, he switched the cases.
He switched them.
But it's this thing is a thing full of silver eggs. Are you not going to have that guy, where the hell did these come from?
He left a note.
As somebody who's incredibly broke, if somebody were to drop off a case full of silver at my door and say, hey, I know you're in some financial hard times, buddy. Because it's addressed directly to him. I know what you're wanting to do. Go do this. I'm going to be like,
I'm not going to ask questions.
No questions are asked today. I'm going to the bank, the world's snootiest bank in the fucking 20s. And it's like,
they didn't erase any of those people's memory either. manager that saw the little thing, they did not wipe those guys' minds.
They wiped the guards' minds.
When?
The dude did. Newt did.
I didn't see him do that.
The first set of guards he did.
I don't remember that scene.
It probably happened off screen.
Yeah.
No.
The first set of guards he did, and then
there are some inconsistencies, but yeah, there's one or two pointless scenes when they're escaping in the box or in the suitcase, and she gets stopped, and it's just like,
I'm sick.
Yeah, this scene wasn't necessary.
Overall, though,
it was just to add.
It was a good movie.
It's padding. No, it's a really good movie. I honestly had a lot of fun. Yeah, despite all these bad things we're saying, this was actually a really fun movie.
But
the good definitely outweighs the bad.
I have two real big complaints about this. And I'm not sure where the fault would lie in this. Was it just me, or did everybody in this movie was either crying or seemed to be on the verge of crying?
He did. Newt did.
Yeah.
Newt
Eddie
always
Redmayne
seemed like he had like sun in his eyes, or he was about to cry.
He was like overly awkward. It made me think the character was like maybe autistic.
I don't know about that. I think they had a different person in mind, because he's my other big kind of iffy part about this. I think they wanted Matt Smith from Doctor Who, because he has a lot of the same facial and gesturing expressions like they had with the 11th Doctor. He's in a very similar outfit, and at the end he's got this big long scarf on him, and it's just like, I really think you wanted Doctor Who for this role, not for Eddie Redmayne. And it's like he was like runner-up.
He did this like the whole time, like his head was down and tilted away.
And he always had that same look when he looked up.
He turned around and he's like, well, this, and this. Da 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 da. Da da da.
No, or he did this.
Well, at the same time, you spend a long enough time around a group of people who don't want you butting into their research or telling them they're wrong. Eventually you just start kind of learning to shut up and avoid gazes. I've met some people who have that issue, and so it's I can completely understand why he is the way he is in this movie. But like I say,
I do feel like he was a little overly awkward.
I think they could have toned it back just a bit, but I honestly think this was probably written for somebody like Matt Smith.
Yeah.
But he still did a great job.
No, he was perfectly fine. I really enjoyed him.
I love the fact how he just healed the guy. He's like, I've been telling you guys this several times that I could do it. I could fix him. And then he just goes ahead and fixes him.
I gotta say, like, Colin Farrell definitely put on a good performance.
Well, Colin Farrell usually does, so I really didn't have any big reservations about him or complaints. He does a perfectly serviceable job. I think he becomes kind of cartoonish near the end.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, you were basically so transparent about being evil this entire time.
You might as well just came out and said, hey, dude, I'm evil.
You might as well have had a handlebar mustache and been sitting there going, yeah. Because at one point he's trying to console Credence and get him to talk, and he just reaches over and is like, Credence, listen to me. Pah! Listen to me. I'm just like, the 20s. When hitting somebody solved your problems.
I think everybody should have figured out who he was when he gave dude the necklace, because that little symbol on it was the Hollows symbol. And it's like, Grindelwald, okay.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you're the bad guy. We got this. Let's get the story going a little further.
I'm kind of wondering why.
That being said, yeah, this movie's really good. I would probably trim maybe 10 to 15 minutes out of it. Just of padding.
If they do a second one and have Dumbledore in it, like, I definitely want to see something with the Elder One that was not in this movie at all.
Well, no, but again, it wasn't
something
needed.
I want to know, like,
where's the beef?
No, who's okay? Who's your favorite Fantastic Beast?
The one that did the thing.
What it looked like?
He had the
So you
the
didn't
look.
did you have? You didn't have one?
Of course I have one. What kind of person would I be if I didn't?
Okay, so he doesn't have one. What about you, Jared?
I like the Griffin. It was basically a Griffin. They didn't call it a Griffin.
It was
but
really,
a
really
Griffin.
cool.
like
If I
the
had to
Griffin.
pick anything, I'd probably say the big blue Drake looking things.
Yeah.
See, that's what I was gonna say. My
Just
favorite
as
one
just
was.
as a design aesthetic, I thought those were really, really neat.
Dude, my second choice has to be the platypus that kept stealing shit.
Yeah, I thought he was put in there mostly as like comic relief, and
It
it was,
was
just like,
funny though. Like
it works. It works.
him and the.
I'm just kind of burnt out on stuff like that, where it's like, you're purely playing this thing for padding and laughs, and it's like,
There was a pink bird they passed that was like super fluffy that I liked.
what was with the giant dung beetles?
They're
don't
just
know.
there doing their thing, you know.
Going back to our earlier statement of when you had left, though, like right after you exited the theater to go get drinks, I was sitting there. I'm looking at this goblin talking. I'm like, is that Ron Perlman? He opens up his mouth, and I'm like, yeah, that's Ron Perlman. And then you walk in, and it's like, is that Ron Perlman? I'm just like, yes, it is, Jared.
yeah, like
It was the neatest little bit of timing that I've ever experienced. Where it's like, I just got done talking about this, and you walk in, it's like,
is that
is that Ron Perlman?
It's really obvious for the way he talks.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's Ron Perlman. Okay.
Yeah, this movie has a lot of weird cameos in it. I just was like, did we really need this person to be in here?
I don't care. Ron
need a
Perlman
paycheck.
can make
I'm happy Ron Perlman's in a movie, so
He can make
I'll take it.
I've only seen like one thing I really hated Ron Perlman in, so
How was that?
Season of the Witch. Nicolas Cage, it was terrible.
I never saw that
It
movie.
was awful.
So that's what I heard. That's why I didn't
So
see
you
it.
didn't see an awful movie.
Yeah,
You saved yourself.
I am 1 for 1 on this.
But then all the awful movies
Anything
that
else
he's
Ron
taken
Perlman's
to.
in, definitely go check it out.
Yeah,
But
no, he's a really great actor. Even if he's in a bad movie, he'll be a bright spot in it because he'll bring his A game every time.
Every.
I do love those movies where actors bring their A game, even
Yeah.
when it's a very bad
Kurt Russell.
movie.
They're like, I'm gonna save
Kurt
this
Russell
movie.
is an actor who does that. They may not save the movie, but god damn it, they're gonna try.
That's what I'm
Yes, they
saying.
will.
They're in there saying, I'm gonna
Hmm.
save this movie.
I think they look at it and they go, you know what? This is trash, but I'm gonna act the hell out of this trash. No, him and Kurt Russell, if they're ever in a movie, I'm just like, well, I'm getting comfortable.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah, let's turn the volume up on this and get ready for a ride. Yeah, I don't really have much to say more about this movie. I thought this was a lot of fun. I think the visuals worked very, very well. There were only like 1 or 2 things where they were having to handle the not their animals, where
Yeah.
it was really, really awkward looking.
Hey,
But anytime you have to tell an actor, yeah, hold it like it's a snake bird, and they're like,
definitely, if you like Harry Potter, you'll enjoy this. If you didn't like Harry Potter, you'll probably still enjoy it. It was
This definitely sets up its own universe. That being said, I kind of wish it took its own universe turn,
yeah.
because at the end they could have very easily been like, "Oh, I guess we really can't keep magic secret anymore," and tried to integrate with society and then build this entire world in this alternate world where magic and technology coexist. And it's like, I want to see that movie.
That's definitely later. That's like a sequel to Harry Potter. That's
Yeah.
later down the road.
Yeah, I know.
But didn't you say they're thinking about making more movies from this? or-
Well, there's
From what I've heard, there's
There
at
is
least
a-
one sequel greenlit as is, and supposedly I heard there's going to be like a 4-movie deal.
I know there's definitely a sequel because Johnny Depp already signed on to it. That's what I'm saying. If the next one, it shouldn't be Fantastic Beasts 2 though, because I feel we got our story, we got it wrapped up, and it was a good story. The next one, you just kind of need focus on, like, you know, why Grindelwald is the way he is, why he's the bad guy, and maybe like a young Dumbledore trying to stop him.
I don't know, man. You might end up integrating too close to Harry Potter And then we're gonna have a lot of fucking
Dumbledore was his
backflash.
Dumbledore,
now we're here.
Dumbledore is like the one character I would want to see a backstory to.
I just don't want to watch a movie
so
full of like flashback. Now we're here. What the fuck just happened in this 3 minutes that I was watching the flashback?
Yeah, no, that was definitely
it. Would definitely
if they hadn't
have to
set
be
up,
done right.
There was one part in this where that sort of happens. I was like, not really sure about this, but then they set it up beforehand, so I was just kind of like, well, I guess it works. So whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie was a lot of fun. Go see it.
Yep, check it out, guys.
Yeah. So trailers.
We missed the trailers.
That means you missed your favorite trailer.
What trailer?
For the multicolored environmental group of do-gooders. That looks awful.
I still think it's going to be a good movie.
Oh, you kids out there, you get those ideas ready for that Twitter handle. Old Jared's going to need it. I've got some ideas.
No, I'm not.
Jared, you promised it's going to happen.
No, if I
am wrong, you can create mine.
Get ready to make his.
With no holdbacks.
Yeah, you get to make whatever you want. Although I haven't one I would like to submit first, but we'll discuss that.
I'm telling you guys, Power Rangers is going to be good.
And he's telling you it's going to be terrible, and I'm completely neutral.
I don't think it's going to be terrible. I think it's going to be a giant mishmash of various things and come out just very blah.
I have two things that I think you're going to be wrong on, so I don't think you're going to create my Twitter handle, because I don't think Zordon's going to have lofty dialogue, and I don't think they're going to use hip terms for the time.
Oh, you haven't seen the trailer then?
I have seen the trailer.
Really? Because the person who's standing there, oh, if only somebody could predict this. Oh, wait, I did. Run away.
That's general. That's not a young person term.
You don't see old people using it.
I was about to say.
I don't know. I don't. And we already said you can't count sequel bait because
I won't count the sequel bait, although we do find out that they are classified as a bunch of freaks and losers, despite the fact that they all look like they could model for JCPenney tomorrow.
Or
Abercrombie and Fitch.
It's because half these people came from like the Disney Channel.
And if they're called freaks and losers, make them look like freaks and losers. You know what?
Don't look
way back
like
in the 80s, there was a nice little movie called The Breakfast Club. You know what? They looked like freaks and losers.
So you would want The Breakfast Club to be?
If you're going to be called freaks and losers, yeah. Make them look like freaks and losers.
Don't make them look like they're ready to strike a pose.
Don't make them look like the most, like, they're clean-cut, nice-looking kids, and it's just like, why is this person teasing this girl in the locker room? Why is Billy in summer school when he's clearly the smart guy?
I think it was detention, not summer school.
Whatever. Why is he in detention?
He looks like a good kid.
Probably because Bulk beats the shit out of him.
Yeah, if they make Bulk and Skull actual bullies, I'm gonna be really pissed off.
Why? That's what Bulk and Skull were. They were bullies.
No, they weren't. They were the comic variant of a bully. They weren't bullies. Capable of being bullies, and they were actually decent guys. Hey, you laugh. You go watch Linkara's History of the Power Rangers. He chronicles them from beginning until the very end, and I honestly never, ever saw this, but having listened to it, I can completely understand. He does a wonderful job explaining their character arc and the fact that they actually have one.
Yeah, I mean, they go from being like wannabe bullies to cops, and then Bulk ends up raising Skull's like son as an uncle in Japan.
Yeah. There's some in-betweens.
The guy who played Bulk is actually the longest reoccurring character. He's stayed on the show longer than any Ranger.
Yeah, he's got that distinction. And if I'm not mistaken, he's a comic book producer right now.
I don't know.
I don't know what he's doing. I have to look him up. But yeah, get those Twitter handles ready, everybody.
Whatever. Whatever.
Don't be butthurt, Jared.
It's not gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
No, it's not.
Oh, yes, it is.
We'll see when Power Rangers comes out. It's happening. Until then, we will.
He's like, it's already happened.
Till then, we'll see you guys next time. What's next? What movie are we doing next?
I don't think we have anything else planned until Rogue One.
I don't think so.
No, Assassin's Creed.
Oh yeah.
We have.
Were we gonna watch it?
We have Ass Creed. I had plans on it. If you guys want to come,
I think Rogue One's before Assassin's Creed.
Is it before Ass Creed?
I don't know. We'll figure it out and I'll put it in the video.
Yeah, we'll put the release dates in there.
All right.
So I'll have like a thing for a terrible movie.
Yeah.
Because I normally am okay with the movies that we
So when
watch.
you gonna bring over Xenoverse 2?
I'm down, like whenever.
Dude. We'll discuss this later then.
All right. Well, we will see you guys next time. Later.
Laters.
Bye.